welcome to today's edition of BHS 10. For our first story today, we'll be heading out to Palestinian-controlled Gaza, where fighting and conflict broke out again between the countries of Israel and Palestine. The conflicts between these two countries dates all the way back to the end of World War II, when many Jews fled to Israel in hopes of a fresh start after the events of the Holocaust. The large number of Jewish populations entering Israel caused the UN to split Israel into two separate countries, one country for the Jews and one country for the Arabs. The split would eventually lead to war and conflicts between Israel and Palestine, which recently picked up again this May.
The most recent conflict appeared to have begun when a sniper shot and wounded two Israeli soldiers. This led to the worst fighting between Israel and Palestine since their last full-blown war in 2014. The Israeli army stated that Gaza launched as many as 600 projectiles into Israel in just a 2-day span. In response to the Palestinian attack, Israel launched several airstrikes of its own on Palestine and its citizens. After the fighting was said and done, it was estimated that at least 4 Israeli civilians were killed, along with 22 Palestinians, after the countries reached a ceasefire after nearly 4 days of fighting.
Before this conflict arose, there had been many talks of finally making peace between Israel and Palestine. And now that the countries have reached their latest ceasefire, we hope they can start moving in the right direction and finally make peace.
10-second trivia. Where is the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier currently located? A. Red Sea, B. Arabian Sea, C. Persian Gulf, or D. Mediterranean Sea? The USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier is currently located in the Arabian Sea.
Thank you, Daniel. Moving on to the country west of Palestine, Iran. Now, we all know the U.S. has always had problems with Iran, but suddenly, tensions between the U.S. and Iran have risen in the past couple of months. The sudden rise started back on May 8, 2018, when the U.S. pulled out of the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action between Iran and the 5 permanent members of the United Nations Security Council. Those 5 members are China, France, Russia, the UK, the U.S., and Germany. The withdrawal affected Iran's economy very negatively and caused concerns in Iran due to its impact on the economy. On May 11th, days after American officials first claimed a threat from Iran, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo made an unannounced hour-long trip to Baghdad to press what he said was evidence of increased danger to Americans there. He met with the foreign minister, the prime minister, and the president. Officials told BHS 10 that their concerns focus on Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and its link to some of Iraq's Shiite Arab militias, and said that they had information that suggests plans to set up groups in Iraq and Syria to attack American forces. American officials later said that the intelligence included photographs of missiles on small boats in the Persian Gulf, put there by unofficial Iranian military forces. The United States feared they could be fired at the Navy. American officials pointed to the threats against commercial shipping and potential attacks by militias with Iranian ties on American troops in Iraq. Iraqi officials this week warned that Iran linked militias to not attack the Americans. After the U.S. heard about these threats, the U.S. military sent a carrier strike group, a bomber task force, fighter jets, a landing ship, and a surface-to-air missile battery to the Middle East as a show of force to Iran. There is tons of firepower currently located there. The USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group would consist of the carrier and its powerful carrier air wing, as well as one of the cruisers and 4 destroyers, with a number of B-52 Strike Force heavy long-range bombers earlier this week. U.S. Air Force's Central Command announced that on Thursday that the F-15C Eagle fighter jets were positioned within the area to defend U.S. forces and interests in the region. The Pentagon also announced that the USS Arlington, a landing ship, and the Patriot surface-to-air missile battery are also located there. Another reason for the rise in tensions in the deployment of tons of naval power is because on May 13th, 2 Saudi Arabian oil tankers and a Norwegian ship were damaged over the weekend near the Persian Gulf in what Saudi Arabia claimed Monday was an act of sabotage. Further investigation regional tensions with Iran. Also on May 16, President Trump was asked by reporters if the U.S. will go to war with Iran. President Trump responded with, "I hope not. Both countries do not want to go to war, but will if they have to." Iran's foreign minister said that Iran is being bullied and being forced and dragged into war. About 19 hours ago, the U.S. offered to sit down and talk with Iran to try and reduce the tensions between Iran, but that offer was dismissed, and Iran said it was wordplay. Yahya Mala, BH10, reporting from our BH10 studio in New York.
Hello, this is Jose Amante, and I'm here to talk about health issues. Researchers say that only 4.3% of people have no health issues, so that means 95.7% of us have health issues. Nearly 1 out of every 3 people will have cancer throughout their lifetime. Cancer has no cure, and it's something no one wants to get because of how bad it is. Cancer is very deadly, and lots of people get cancer. There are some ways you could prevent getting cancer, and that's by eating certain foods. Some foods you can eat to help prevent cancer are tomatoes, broccoli, carrots, garlic, onions, and eggplants. It's always sad to find out someone has cancer because of how hard it is to get rid of it. A football player named Eric Berry was once reported to have cancer at December 8, 2014. He played strong safety for the Kansas City Chiefs. He was an all-star player and people loved him. In his mind, there was no stopping him from coming back. He had many surgeries and many treatments to help him. He also exercised every day and kept in shape to try to fight cancer. Along with all of that work, he had to keep his body healthy with good nutrition meals throughout the day. He had his dad cook for him every single day. His dad was a phenomenal chef. His dad cooked the best food for him for years while he was sick. His dad was one of the reasons why he overcame cancer. Without his dad right by his side cooking phenomenal meals for him, who knows where Eric Berry would be right now. There was another famous American sportscaster and an anchor for ESPN that died recently at the age of 49 because of cancer. His name was Stuart Scott, and at the ESPYs he gave an amazing speech. One quote that he said addressing him having cancer is, "When you die, that does not mean you lose to cancer. You beat cancer by how you live, why you live, and in the manner which you live." He is someone that would be missed very much as a sportscaster, but mainly a person. He already had a family with 2 daughters and a wife. He isn't the only person in the world that died with cancer. Many other people have died fighting against cancer. According to the American Cancer Society, 1,620 people die each day because of cancer. There are too many people being affected by cancer every single day. So if you have the cure for cancer, come right up, and your name will be written down in the books for one of the most successful people ever.
I'm Daniel Wara. This has been BHS 10, and thank you all for watching.